So Andrei Karpathy posted about vibe coding and everyone in AI went crazy about programming. However, vibe coding was just the beginning. While you're competing with thousands of other developers and non-developers building the same AI wrappers and SaaS, there's an entire category of other businesses that are being completely ignored right now. Service businesses, agencies, consultancies, these are all 100 billion markets that almost no one is attempting to disrupt right now. And while the winners in the SaaS space have already been established, like for example, Salesforce, Notion, Slack, all of them already have their own AI products, the services space is still almost completely empty. However, I believe this is not gonna last for long. Soon we will start seeing fully automated, massive service-based businesses appear and take a much larger portion of the market. So vibe coding was just the beginning. Software development is just one vertical. Greg Eisenberg, for example, also posted a video on vibe marketing, but it's not just about software development or marketing. It's about something much bigger. I call it vibe entrepreneurship. And so this is exactly what I'm going to explore with you today in this video. I will start a 10K a month service-based business with 0 employees, an agency that helps CEOs like myself to establish authority on LinkedIn. But first, before I do that, let me explain why this is going to be so much bigger than vibe coding ever was and share literally everything you need to get started. So what exactly is vibe entrepreneurship? Well, in my opinion, vibe entrepreneurship is questioning hiring at every stage of growth. It's not about never hiring another employee again. I'm probably still going to hire people, but it's just the mindset. It's basically trying to automate the process first before you consider hiring someone. So just like in vibe coding today, before we start hiring developers, we build MVPs ourselves using tools like Cursor or Claude Code. In vibe entrepreneurship, we try to automate a process first, and only then, if it financially doesn't make sense or it's just not possible yet, we consider hiring someone. So again, it's not about just never hiring people, it's about automation first thinking. And why now is, well, because the latest models are finally able to consistently generate profits operating real businesses on real benchmarks. On the vending bench, a benchmark where AI agents have to operate a real vending machine, the latest AI reasoning models are finally consistently netting multiple thousands of dollars in profit, much bigger than an average human, by the way. When I was attempting to do this the last time, this was simply not the case. But today we have access to the latest GPT-5 and other reasoning models that are not only extremely affordable, but they can also perform extremely extended tasks. Additionally, I also noticed that other big venture funds are also realizing this opportunity as well.
There's no Kirkland & Ellis law firm on this slide. There's no Baker Tilly accounting firm. Even though these are businesses that do billions of revenue, we believe that the cognitive revolution offers an opportunity to expand the market and expand this slide to include many large standalone public companies built around AI in the services space.
So essentially what this AI guy from Sequoia Capital is saying is that today on this market cap chart, we only see public companies. But there are also tons of private companies like law, accounting, and consulting firms that are making billions of dollars, but they don't show up on these charts because, well, they're private companies, right? And typically these companies are valued at much lower multiples, only 3 to 4x of annual revenue instead of 8 to 12x like SaaS. And the reason is because these companies constantly have to hire and train new people in order to scale. So not only they're less scalable, but also their margins are much lower. And what we're gonna see soon is these traditional service-based businesses are gonna start converting into product companies by automating themselves. And this is why they're going to be able to take a much larger portion of the market, which is exactly what Sequoia Capital is investing in right now. So this is why this is the perfect time to do this. And many people are already doing that, actually. So Peter Levels, for example, the guy behind Nomad List, is netting around 3 million a year in revenue with only one support contractor. And Justin Welsh makes nearly 4 million a year selling courses and running a newsletter with 0 employees. So this model already exists. It was basically you either build a SaaS or you sell courses. But now we have tens of new verticals unlocked with the latest AI models that almost no one is exploring right now. So how do you actually start? Well, the easiest way is to solve your own problem. And I know you hear this all the time, so here's one more big hack that I actually just recently discovered that almost no one knows about. If you can't come up with a problem to solve right now, or if you are not sure whether it's gonna work or not, then simply buy a course. Seriously. So if you think about this, every single high quality course, and I'm not talking like $97 community, I'm talking like a course that has really good reviews and that costs at least a couple thousand or more. Every such course is essentially a well-documented business process. It's basically just someone who discovered a very unique, niche, valuable process that actually works and who's helping other businesses to install it. So guess what? Almost any such process can be automated with AI today. And this is exactly what I did myself. In my previous video, I built this cold DM outreach system. However, I actually didn't come up with that myself. I just bought a course on marketing where they showed me how they perform this process manually and how it increases the conversions significantly. So then I just simply built a system around that to automate it. And so you can do the same for any niche down process. Just make sure that it's valuable. Like the key thing is to ensure that no one actually is doing this. So for example, if you just take leads from Apollo and then blast them with emails from Instantly, this is obviously not going to work. Why? Well, because everyone else is doing that. So you're not going to be able to scale that because their inboxes are basically flooded with emails like yours every single day. But if you find a really valuable, unique process that no one knows about, a process where as soon as you see it, you just get this idea like, oh, wow, like this is smart. I get it. Like this is going to work. If you get this feeling, then this is definitely going to be a great opportunity for you to automate. But what do you do if you don't have the money for a course like that? Well, then you simply partner up with someone. So find someone who is already performing this process, an agency or someone, and simply partner up with them so they show you how they're currently performing it and then automate it for them first and then scale it to the rest of the market. Additionally, you can simply work with them as well. So that's also something that I did. I scheduled a call with another LinkedIn Authority agency. And after they showed me how they're performing this process right now, I now have a much better understanding of how I can automate it. And the last way is to simply chat with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is definitely not going to give you like a super valuable, unique process right off the bat. But if you do ask deeper and deeper questions about how a specific industry operates or about specific hacks that you can do at every stage, then you can uncover some pretty cool things as well. So as you can see, the whole thing with Vibe Entrepreneurship, it's actually not hard. Like today, ChatGPT already knows more than any other human or maybe even all of the humans combined. And so if you run into any issues, all you need to do is just literally know the right questions to ask. If you run into any roadblocks, you can simply chat with AI and it's gonna give you some really good ideas on how to move forward. So now let me outline the business that I'm gonna be building myself and the other tools that I'm gonna use. So I'm going to be building a LinkedIn Authority agency, which helps executives like myself to increase their reach on LinkedIn. So this is the exact problem that I'm struggling with right now. I basically have a lot of really cool ideas on YouTube, but I don't have the time to spread them on LinkedIn. And so in a traditional way, this would require at least 4 employees, at least 1 account manager, 1 content creator, 1 VA, and maybe an ops manager later. So with all other expenses and benefits combined, that would roughly be around $10,000. So if I have 7 clients at 2.5K each, I'd make 17,000 in revenue, which is around 40% profit margin. So honestly, this is not bad if I'm able to pull it off like this, but I'm also working as a full-time manager. Now, here's how this would look like with Vibe Entrepreneurship. First, I will build a lead sourcing system using Clay for $150 a month, and I will also use Sales Navigator for lead sourcing for around $100 a month. Then I will build a content agent using our framework, and I estimate the API costs to be around $100 a month for 7 clients. I already built this custom personalized video outreach system in my previous video, and the costs for each video are on average 5 to 10 cents. So if I send around 400 videos per client per month, that would be only like $200 per month. For posting approved content and maybe some other things, I will build some automations with NA10, which is only $20 a month. And for sending connect requests and AI outreach, I might also use something like Dripify for $80 a month. So my total infrastructure costs for all this with Vibe Entrepreneurship would be around $600 a month. I would still probably need a VA, however, for 1.5K, but for the same revenue of 17,000, my profit would now be at around 15,000, which is 87% profit margin. So more than double, and now we are already getting into these SaaS ranges. However, keep in mind that the tools that you will need are going to be different depending on which platform you choose and which process you automate. So the best way to find your tools is to either chat with ChatGPT web search or use Perplexity and actually test all of them. So now let's put it all together in a quick 30-day roadmap, and then we'll get started. So on week 1, we just have to set the foundations. Again, find your unique opportunity, test all the tools, and then start sourcing and warming up accounts as soon as possible. So if you're doing outreach, typically it takes at least 2 weeks to start showing results, which is why you need to start doing this in advance. One of the biggest hacks that all successful entrepreneurs know about is sell before you build. You actually don't even have to wait to build out your whole system. You can just start selling it right away. This will also help you to validate your idea and reduce your risk later. On week 2, you should already launch it. So build a very simple version. It doesn't have to be pretty and it doesn't have to be fully automated. Like for example, I'm already using that LinkedIn system, even though, for example, it doesn't have any way to track payments. So right now I can simply calculate the amount of videos that each client has used at the end of the month manually and just send them an invoice. So the best thing actually on week 2 is if you are using your own system to build your own business. So like, for example, I'm going to be actually using this same system to do outreach that I'm going to be installing for my clients as well. On week 3, you need to start optimizing. So this is when you can add more like nice to have features, workflows, and more agents to actually automate the whole process, not just the most important things, and then iterate based on feedback. At this stage, it's crucial to set up tracking. So make sure you track all of the necessary metrics, set up observability, check out my podcast with Adam Silverman to learn more. And on week 4, you can start scaling it. So this is when, if your product is proven to be successful, you can simply increase the volume. That's typically the only thing that you need to do in order to scale your system. And then you simply look at the metrics, and when something goes out of the KPI, then you slow down, fix it, and then you go back up. So this is the exact roadmap that I will follow for this series. So let's start from the week 1, which is the foundations. So what I like to do before I automate any business or before I start a new fully automated business from scratch is I map out all the processes in that business on a Figma board. And so here I identified 2 key processes. The first process is the lead generation process, and the second process is the content creation process. So I've already fully automated the lead generation process, which before used to take us tens of hours to do manually, and now literally can be done in just a few clicks. And in the next video, I'll also automate the content creation process. And so this process is actually pretty insane. What I did essentially is I took Phantom Buster and Clay, and I made a pipeline that automatically sources all of the leads from people who follow me on LinkedIn and from people who we add from Sales Navigator, and then it enriches them in Clay. And so I'm going to show you this whole pipeline in just a bit, but first we need to understand the entire process. And so after we enrich and qualify these leads in Clay, they automatically get added into the Notion CRM. Then our assistant sends the connect request. So I actually color mapped all of the different actions here as well. But then basically we wait for at least 3 days if the connect is requested or not. And if they did, we send them a DM video. So this is the video generated with the custom AI system that I built in my previous video about the AI coding workflow that works in production. And from there, we simply follow up with them and hopefully get them to book a call with us. And the second pipeline is pretty simple. It's essentially an AI agent that combines content from other sources like YouTube, Twitter, and news, and then repurposes them into LinkedIn posts. And then what I'm thinking is it's going to add it to a Notion content board, because again, this is how these LinkedIn agencies are currently performing this process, as I learned recently. And then there's going to be like a human in the loop. So the main stakeholder will actually also have a chance to edit the content. And then once it's approved, it's going to go through NA10 with a simple automation and get posted on LinkedIn. So now let me actually show you how this insane lead generation pipeline works, and then I'm gonna show you exactly how I built it. Okay, so all we need to do for this to work is we simply need to open one of the searches on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and then there is a Clay extension right here. So all we need to do is like literally open this extension and then hit add to the table. And then also to ensure that we don't add the same leads again, we simply select all of the leads that we've already added and put them into a list. And as you can see, after that, all we need to do is just go back to our CRM in Notion, and here you can already see new leads appearing in our pipeline. All of them are enriched, so we can see all of their company and personal details, including emails, and additionally, they are all also qualified, so all of these leads are guaranteed to be a very high fit for our company because all of this is done automatically with AI on Clay. Now the question is, what do we do with them after they accepted our connect requests? And the answer is pretty simple. I actually don't even have to do anything myself. All I need to do is just post a task for our assistant, and what she is gonna do is she's gonna take one of the leads who accepted the connect, and then she's gonna go to our AI greeting system and simply copy the name, paste it right here, and then hit generate. So again, before it would have taken me at least 20 seconds for every video to record it myself, and then also probably 10 to 20 seconds to actually send it. Now I'm not even involved at all. I also, by the way, added lip sync to the system, so it's gonna take a bit longer this time. And now the job is completed, so let's see the result. Hey Linda, name is Arseny from YouTube. I just have a quick question for you. And yeah, I mean, it sounds almost exactly like me. That's pretty insane because again, before it would have taken me quite a long time to create something like this. But now my assistant can literally send like 40 of these without my direct involvement. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And you can only imagine how much more scalable this is if I want to have like 7 clients instead of doing this manually. So before I would have to hire setters, but now it can all be done almost fully autonomously. Okay, now let me actually walk you through this whole pipeline in Clay that I've created. So first, in order to do this, you need to install a Chrome extension from Clay that simply is going to take all the leads from your search on Sales Navigator and send them to a table. And there's also, as I said, the pull leads from Phantom Buster search, which essentially fetches the latest LinkedIn followers for me. So after that, there are a few key actions that are being performed. The first one is enrich the person. So as you can see, this fetches all the information about the person. So this is my personal LinkedIn. So it has like all of the details about me, all of the information from my LinkedIn. It also then enriches the company. So it uses the URL from my current experience, and then it finds my website, finds the size, industry, and so on. After that, it generates a candidate fit score. It's probably the most crucial part of this entire system. So what it does here is it simply takes all of the details from my personal LinkedIn and from the company. It has our ICP, ideal customer profile, and then it simply rates the prospect based on this ICP. And then after that, we get the fit score. So as you can see, my fit score is 0 because obviously I'm building AI solutions myself. So why would we sell solutions to someone who already builds them for other companies, right? And if the fit score is more than 80, then there are more actions, like for example, to find the work email, to generate the message. So this actually also very useful and also saves a lot of time. So as you can see, we can also use the same details to generate an email or a message on LinkedIn. And then basically all of this gets added into Notion. So in production, it's all synced automatically. I simply hit one button on LinkedIn and then I get a bunch of qualified leads in Notion. And then finally, as you can see, I get added into Notion with this email and with all of my company details. So yeah, this is how it works. This should definitely be enough for me to start actually delivering value to people. I think this system can easily be sold for thousands of dollars. What I'm thinking right now is I'm gonna probably be charging like a setup fee, maybe like 1.5, 2K setup fee, and then also like a fixed price for each booking, which is again exactly what I learned those LinkedIn agencies are doing. So yeah, I'll definitely continue building this in the next video. I'm really curious how far I can take it this time. So make sure to subscribe and see you in the next one.